Alright, we're live.
Alright, now it's time for two-player mode.
So we have a special stream today where we are taking a look at
the PlayStation VR. And I can't even say how excited I am about this. So before we begin, oh my goodness, that's such bad news. Hold on, give me a moment.
What?
That was playing sound. I don't know if we want to start again from the beginning and then just cut that whole part out for our YouTube viewers, because that was stupid of me.
What happened?
The tablet where I'm making sure that our stream is actually like live, it was playing sound, and so we were gonna get an echo and all that other bad stuff.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Are we cutting that out, or are we doing?
I don't care. Let's just go.
Okay. As you can see, we pride ourselves on our professionalism and stream quality.
It's too late now.
Okay.
You have to move on with your life.
Yep. Anyway, though, so I am unbelievably excited about this. I have wanted VR for very nearly my whole life because I have a story that I want to tell you. So this is a story of little Aaron, little 5-year-old Aaron, who would sometimes go with his dad to the local hardware store. It was a store called Lorden's. And at that store, there was a very, very small toy section. There were like little kind of squirt guns and other things like that. But the crown jewel that they had there, and the thing that I wanted so very, very much, was a little toy VR headset with a little gun. Now, it's important to note that this had no actual VR in it. It was a little plastic.
Because this was over 20 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
so the technology was...
This was in the 90s, so the technology just didn't exist, period. And it was also like $10 or something like that. And so there was absolutely no way...
The future is now!
Yes. And so pretty much all it was just this little headset thing that you would put on, and it had kind of like a piece of see-through but colored plastic with a little like target on it and all that, and you would have a little gun that I think that it did make noise, but it was like a literal it would spin something that would make sparks inside of it. So it wasn't even electronic. There weren't even batteries for this thing. It just made lights and a little bit of a sound with it. And I wanted this so bad. And my dad wouldn't get it for me. And looking back on it, in spite of how bitter I was at the time, I think that this is because my dad, being the very wise man that he is, realized what I thought this wasn't even close to what it actually was. And that I was going to set myself up for a world of disappointment if I actually got this thing, no matter how much I thought I wanted it. And so now that VR...
So fast forward to 2016, when PlayStation VR is a thing, and we are browsing game trailers on our PlayStation 4 to see what we want to play next, what other games are out there, and we run into a couple of really cool-looking games, and then realize that they are PlayStation VR only.
Yes, even if they don't really need to be, for some reason.
So some of these that we're going to take a look at in the coming weeks, we don't... at the moment, feel like VR was necessary. Totally could have been played just with a controller.
And that's true, actually. It's good to point out that like we haven't played these yet, so maybe there's all kinds of awesome VR
and there
features
might be stuff.
that we're not
There's
seeing.
at least one game that definitely seems to require it and looks pretty cool. Other games might just be more immersive by doing this, and other games seem to jump the hype train.
Yeah. But so I decided that, you know what, this was worth it. The time is now. The future is here. And I was going to go and get PlayStation VR. So this is the unboxing. We have all of the stuff here.
So we got a little bundle here. So it's the PlayStation VR itself.
The helmet.
Which is the headset that makes you look super cool and futuristic.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
We also need the PlayStation camera because it's watching you.
Yes.
It has to watch you play.
Yep.
Which is
actually interesting because it's apparently not an accelerometer, which is in the headset, or keeping track of it or anything like that.
Which is interesting, and I don't know if that's because they don't want it to be too sensitive, so you have to be playing a game like this where you're very carefully moving your head.
Yeah,
I could see that. So got the camera so that we can be spied on all the time, not just when we're streaming. And the PlayStation Move, which are these kind of... I remember when the Move came out a long time ago, and I never really heard anything about them ever again.
Yeah.
They just this was Sony's answer to the Wii way back when, and they just did not take off. I saw almost no games that used them. I have never used them, and I've owned a PlayStation 3 and a PS4 now, and had zero occasion to buy these. until now.
Yeah, well, they're overwhelmingly the part of this that I am the least confident in, I have to admit. Because the headset, I think, has lots of awesome potential, particularly for like vehicle games and other stuff like that, because you can use the controller for that and it works great. I felt like even the Wii, to be perfectly honest, never really got that working that great. There were some games that were eventually like okay, but I myself was never terribly satisfied with trying to use an actual motion sensor. So we'll see. I could be totally wrong on this.
They were fine for mini games on the Wii, but for using it as a kind of like primary controller in a game, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Looking at the buttons on this, we've got some kind of a center button, and then it's got the usual symbol buttons for the PlayStation. Apparently that's a PlayStation button down there. And the other side of it has the trigger, just like you have on the Wii controller.
Mm-hmm. We can show that, though, actually, by taking them out of the box if you want to do the honors.
Oh, I didn't know if we were opening that part first.
No, we're doing the best for last.
Fine, all right.
Let's be real.
So we're doing the peripherals first.
Yep.
So he has this handy little sharp thing that is not helping me at all. You want to tell a story about the sharp thing? And why you have another one?
Well, so this is probably going to get me arrested, but so what the sharp thing is it's a little utility key that I have on my keychain. It is absolutely awesome, made by Swiss Tack.
It looks like a key. I don't want to hurt myself trying to close this.
Yeah. So if anybody can see, I'll hold it up a little bit. So it has kind of like a little serration and the blade. It has a nice little screwdriver on the end and bottle opener, which is probably the thing I've gotten the most usage out of this. So it's made by Swiss Tack, which make awesome products. It's super simple because basically what you do is you just clip it closed on here around your keychain and you're all set.
So it looks kind of like a key or something fairly innocuous. So if you don't look at it too closely, people would probably just think it was another key on your keychain. So
we went to Japan.
Yes.
And I had that with me. And I was looking...
Flying to Japan, you on American Airways, I think. Japan Airways and Japan Airlines. And security in the U.S. did not bat an eye. Didn't ask any questions.
They didn't even
just went right through.
Inspect my keys. I put it in the little tray and it just went directly.
And so two weeks after being in Japan, on our way home, Narita Airport.
Yep. So I go and I put all my stuff again in the little tray and it's kind of going through security. And this person comes over and she's looking through my belongings and she picks up my keys. And she doesn't just look at them. She starts inspecting them, looking key by key for contraband that I was carrying with me. And she found that thing and kind of flicked it to see what it was and got real suspicious. So then she started pulling and twisting at it, and of course it came open because it's well designed and it's supposed to do that. And so I got to have a very brief talk with a TSA officer, or not TSA, but...
it's not TSA in Japan, but yeah.
Whatever, the Japan security officer saying that I could not take this on the airplane and they were going to take it away and burn it.
The last part didn't happen, but they did
Well, they did take it away and I guess destroyed it or whatever, but...
Yep.
Yeah, so unfortunately I had to get a new one of those. So lesson learned, TSA is not terribly effective, but the Japanese mean it with their airport security.
No, the real lesson here is to listen to your girlfriend when she tells you can't bring that shit on a plane.
Yeah, so that's a side part of this story, which is that when we were flying out of Narita Airport, herself said to me, Aaron, you can just check that. You can put it in your bag. It's fine. It will just kind of come back. And I told her, no, darling. It will be fine. If the Americans didn't care about it, then obviously we would be fine going through again. And I was completely incorrect, and it got taken away and burned. So I had to get a couple new ones.
The most stressful part about that was the fact that the guy who was talking to him about this wrote something down in a little notebook.
Yes,
and I don't know what he wrote down.
They took my passport and wrote stuff down. I might be persona non grata in Japan now, for all I know.
I don't think so, but it's possible that if somebody screens you again going through there, they might be a little bit more suspicious.
They'll say that I need to go with them to a back room and put on a rubber glove and...
Anyway, so that's this. So now back to the move. So finally opened this.
Right.
So we have, open the package looks like this. We have one Move controller. It's completely white. They aren't colored like this. I guess they light up.
They light up, yep.
I'm just gonna... plastic. So we've got 4 buttons, 1 button in the middle,
We might
PlayStation
want to
button.
hold it right up to the thing, because I think that...
PlayStation button,
So this is actually squishy, which I didn't realize. This is not hard plastic, which is good to know.
That's odd. Okay.
It makes sense to me because if you drop it or something, it's going to be impact resistant instead of eventually just cracking.
It's just not what I expected.
Yep. So we have PlayStation button, just like on any controller. We have the kind of 4 standard buttons all around.
It's whining and saying, I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you doing, guys?
And it's the trigger on the back, like I was describing.
Trigger on the back.
It's exactly
Start
the
and
same.
select buttons.
Oh, hey, I didn't even see those before. Okay.
And so
not
does feel moderately good, actually. Like, all the controls are in easy reach.
But the question is, how do you move? Do you just literally move?
I think that you just move, and what should happen, to my understanding, is that the camera is going to be tracking a unique color, which is going to pop up here, and that's how it measures it.
And so we have our nice thick pamphlet of written instructions.
Yep.
As usual.
19 languages.
Do not swing it around and hit your lamp or your neighbor.
Your neighbor. Let's actually get that icon right up to the thing. So, don't break your lamps. Don't break your neighbors. Seriously, guys.
Yeah. Be careful. So, the Wii has similar ones where it says, like, don't throw it at your television. Also, don't throw these at the television. That
actually might be why it's soft, so that when you fling it and it goes sailing through the air, you don't lose $3,000
there's
a
more of a
TV.
chance of doing that here because you've got the VR headset on. You don't even realize that there are things in the room where you still are presently existing. Anyway, instructions. We've got a charging cable. I think it looks like is this a mini USB, really? It is. It's a mini USB.
Yeah, there's a mini USB port actually in the bottom of this, which
mini USB is also what the PlayStation 3 controllers used. I think the PlayStation 4 uses the micro. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't know. Because there's 2 actually different charging ports in the bottom here, and then also something that looks like a clasp.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So
I don't know what goes in there.
There's an extension, so it says EXT by the tiny one.
We'll show in a sec.
And this is the regular mini port. It's possible that they put those kind of metallic,
looks like.
Not pins, but portions at the bottom there so that you would have a stand charger for them.
That's possible.
Anyway, so we have one charging cable. We have 2 cables. Woo! We have another Move controller, and that appears to be the end of this box. So we have 2 controllers and a whole bunch of plastic.
Sounds good.
Okay, so now we have the camera. Let's put this over here. So, discover new ways to play and share. Features 3D depth sensing technology that accurately tracks your body, as well as DualShock 4 and PlayStation Move controllers. So they're also pitching this to broadcast yourself streaming. We are obviously not using this.
Which is a little bit,
yeah. Well, we're also not streaming directly through PlayStation for anything. We are actually using a capture card when we stream games for the PS4. It basically interrupts the signal. It's kind of like an HDMI splitter. So it goes from the PlayStation to the splitter, well, the game capture card, back to the TV, and from the capture card also to the computer. So you can kind of interrupt anything you want doing that, whereas this would just be, you're playing a PlayStation game, and you want to get your face on the screen.
Yep. It's kind of too bad, because I actually think it's wicked neat that PlayStation did decide that they
embraced it.
Yeah, they do want to embrace that, but the options that you have are incredibly primitive. You basically get to put a small image of yourself up on one side of the screen, and that's it. And so, while I do applaud them for deciding that they are just going to integrate Twitch with it, because Twitch is huge and awesome, and they definitely want to be supporting that, it's kind of like so half-assed, to be honest, that you're like, if you really want a good stream, you don't really have an option but to go and get a capture card and do it right.
Yeah,
and so
I'm just glad
it might
that
just
they
be
don't
technology
prevent
limitations,
it.
but yeah.
This also is talking about navigating your PS4 system hands-free with facial recognition and voice commands. So the Star Trek angle is there.
The only thing I want for that is, I don't know if this is a thing, probably not, but if in the new Skyrim, you can yell out the Dragon language commands and actually have it obey, that would be sick.
Alright, so this one I'm going to be very careful with. So the camera is inside the plastic, and the cord is through the plastic. Oops, I already dropped this. So the camera comes with this little, I think it's a stand thing, and it has little hinges on it, so you can kind of clip it around your TV.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. It's funny, it has the little PlayStation symbols on the back.
As a square,
in
triangle,
case you
X,
forgot
circle.
where this was from. It's kind of rubbery at the bottom. The rest of it is pretty sturdy plastic. This is probably relatively, I mean, it's not that bad, but obviously if you bang this against stuff, this part would break. This part will probably be okay. So I'm trying to figure out how to get the cable through here. Okay, so there's kind of a split open in the back. It'll take me a second. Put this right here. So, more plastic. Then we have 2 cameras, because if it's going to do 3D, it's got to have stereoscopic vision. And a whole bunch of other little circles that I don't know what they're for. Maybe they're microphone? To get
Possibly.
audio or,
yeah, that most likely.
Yeah.
It's not clear what they are, unfortunately.
It's has a little kind of lip thing here. I don't know if this...
Probably to hook into the...
Yeah. It's got a serial number on it and all this stuff. PlayStation camera. Ta-da! Camera meet camera. Alright. So now... Oh, and of course we have instructions too.
Yes.
Because everybody reads those.
Yeah, we don't need these.
Which is to say nobody reads them. Unless something goes wrong. Okay. And so now... the part that Aaron is most
excited about.
Alright,
let's do this. Come on, PlayStation, don't let me down, guys. I'm so excited about this. So you open it up, and immediately you get a nice, shiny PlayStation logo, like Sony had been bought out by Apple, or something like that.
I mean, the minimalist style packaging definitely has become very popular in the last few years. Want some help?
Yeah, so it's a giant, just kind of like full box. You just have to slide it directly out. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take advantage of the table I have in front of me. I have to turn it upside down and slide it out this way.
Yep. It's literally a box within a box.
It's a box within a box. We got some boxception.
So this is the plastic sleeve that we're just going to slide off here.
Right off. Make the noise.
And I think it just opens up. Look at this.
Bum, bum. Oh, man. Whoever they hired to design this presentation needs a raise. So check this out.
I will hold it.
Oh, yeah, so.
Ready?
All right, tilt it a little bit. So you got the bum, 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 ba-da, bum, bum,
Yet
bum.
another
It has
box.
a little cord that's keeping you from pulling this too
far
far
back. Oh, my
back.
God. Are you serious?
Yep, so let's see. You kind of
Wow.
take this out. You get this is the instruction manual and all that.
They made it just as big as the box.
Yep.
Which is interesting.
So, what do we got here?
Oh, they've got boxes of things inside the box.
Yep, so we'll go through these in a second.
This is, I heard you like boxes, so I put some boxes in your boxes in your boxes.
So this unfolds. We got another box with more cables and stuff.
I think I see the headset down here.
Somewhere. Hopefully it's in this box. I don't know where else.
Oh.
So we got even more cables.
Got some more cardboard.
And then the headset itself is just very light, actually.
Really?
That is really neat. This is not heavy at all. The box itself, actually, I should say, is moderately heavy. It's not insanely, and I knew that there was a lot of additional stuff in there.
I can hold it up so it's not that heavy. But
but it was heavy enough that I was kind of like, hey, I wonder how heavy the actual headset is. And it turns out, really light.
Final items in the box are the PlayStation VR demo disc, which has a bunch of things in. Oh my god. Do they really have you playing Eve on this thing?
Eve Online?
Yes.
They have like a giant flight simulator for Eve, which I'm not sure if they have the normal thing. Oh, I can't wait for that one. I'm really stoked there.
They have Headmaster on here, which we watched the trailer for, which is literally you using your head to hit balls into things.
Yep.
Like, if you need any practice with your soccer headbutt stuff.
This is like
PlayStation VR Worlds, Tumble VR, Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. Is that a zombie game?
Yes, it is.
Battlezone, Wayward Sky, Riggs Mechanized Combat League.
there's a million little pieces of plastic covering up everything. So like covering up the lenses and all that. So I'm taking those off.
And we get our PlayStation VR branded cleaning cloth.
Oh, actually, so there's that's pretty neat. Because the lenses in here are actually more prominent than I would have thought. There's two very kind of outlines.
They look kind of buggy.
Yeah, they're a little bit buggy. I have no idea if this is going to show up properly on camera. Let's at least give it a shot so you can see a little bit of what it looks like on the inside there. But they're almost slightly protruding, and so that's why that's a little bit unexpected for me.
I like reading the packaging. This says internal carton only. For sale only in retail packaging authorized by the relevant Sony Computer Entertainment Company for your region. AKA, if you're going to resell this shit, at least put it in the box.
Alright. So then the two boxes that were also within the box. The power cord gets its own special little box.
I like how they made the box fit in the other space, even though it doesn't require anywhere near that amount. So that's the power cable for it.
Alright, and then this is probably what is actually the most important part, even though you might think that the headset's the flashiest and all of that.
So we actually get a little splitter for HDMI.
Yes.
Because
another cord.
The signal is coming from the PlayStation to the VR headset and also to the TV. So it's not just if you have the VR headset, it is you and your forever alone self playing VR games in the living room while everybody around you wonders what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You can also display stuff on your TV.
Yeah. So you get this handy-dandy little thing which actually does all that splitting, and from reading about it, I think it's pretty much just a splitter. I don't think that they offload any of the processing to
It's
this.
unlikely that they would. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it does have what looks like a little fan to keep it cool, so it's doing a little bit of work. It's not like an HDMI splitter does nothing. But, so it's got the two HDMI ports.
Sliding apart.
Interesting. Oh, I see. So,
you
here,
can plug it in and then...
and here. So, the way that this works is you've got the two plugs here, and then in order to reach them on the other side, you pull this back. I don't really know why it's designed like that.
Yeah, that's really funky. I have no idea why they did that.
But anyway,
there's that. There's moving parts. It clicks in a very satisfying way.
There is a micro USB port and the power port in the back. So there should be a little power cord for this.
there's a million cords in here.
So you can see all of the ports there. And this actually reminds me of the PlayStation 4, the style of it, with the two here and the cutout in the middle. Well, that doesn't make sense for this, though. There's no moving part in the PlayStation.
Yeah, but I mean, they certainly kept that same design thing of the ridge partway through the middle.
But I don't know why it moves yet. I don't see a real
we'll have to see on that.
point for that. And they're very clear about which port is which. It says this one goes to the TV and this one goes to the PlayStation. So, thanks for writing instructions. And even if you lose or damage the sticker, it is written by the ports themselves. So, that's pretty nice.
So I think that that's everything. I don't see any parts that we can unbox. There's a whole bunch of cords and stuff like that, but not too terribly interesting. So the next step is going to be that we are going to stream some of a game tonight. I'm going to be Batman for the second time in my life. No, I'm just kidding. But so yeah, we are going to be streaming a little bit later on tonight, but we're going to have to actually hook all this stuff up and make sure that it works. So the stream will be going down for a little bit, and then as soon as we possibly can, we will be back up to actually stream again.
Yeah. Did you want to go on break, or did you actually want to stop it?
We might try going on break.
We might want to have it go on break just so that people know that we're
still here. We're still doing something.
We're coming back.
Okay.
So we will see you in a little bit. Don't know how long this is going to take. Hopefully not more than a few minutes. But no promises. So
bye-bye.
See you guys in a bit.